Greetings, I'm Pastor Eric Smith, and this is Wakening Grace. When I was 12 years old, my family often went to a cabin in the local mountains on weekends. Palomar Mountain is located east of Escondido, and it took about an hour and a half back then to get there. It was wonderful for us all. I liked the snow, chopping wood for the large fireplace, putting out a salt lick for the deer, and especially hiking. I hiked all over that mountain, often by myself. Now I realize that I most likely never traveled more than 3 or 4 miles from the cabin, but I was alone and independent, and I loved it. My favorite spot was down the road past the pond, over the hill, across the meadow, and back up the next hill. There, out in the middle of what seemed to me to be nowhere, was an abandoned one-room schoolhouse. I used to wander through it and try to imagine school in session, a teacher in old-fashioned clothes, whether the kids rode a horse each morning to class, much more. To the side of that old schoolhouse there was a stream. I guess they needed it because otherwise there wasn't any running water. Although I enjoyed the schoolhouse, I loved the stream. It wasn't large. I could cross it easily with a couple of steps on well-placed stones, and though I knew many people had to have been there sometime, there was no sign of human life. Just animal paw prints in the sand. Birds, squirrels, raccoons, deer, sometimes a bobcat, once in a great while a mountain lion track. But what was best about the stream was the water itself. Pure, cold, flowing. I would get down on my hands and knees and drink from it. It had a special taste, soft and sweet. It was and is for me living water. The prophet Jeremiah described God as the spring of living water. Jesus spoke of living water too. He was having a drink at a well and in conversation with a woman who, we surmise, had a difficult life. It was a moment when living water quenched the thirst of a parched soul. We don't have to be in a difficult moment of life to enjoy the living water of God. God is always available to us. The spring of living water never runs dry. It always satisfies our soul. Will you pray with me? O God, thank you for your presence with me through all the days of my life. You were with me before I was born, and you will welcome me when this life concludes. You are the spring of living water for me. I want to drink deeply. Amen.